Yes, I'm bald. Now, why did I shave my head? A lot of people will see this and they will think, why would you do that? Why would you voluntarily make yourself uglier? Why would you take 2 steps backwards? Why would you do that? You look good with hair. The people who say this, they don't understand why you're doing this because they're thinking of vanity. They're thinking of looks, right? This is an ascetic practice, and what this means is you're trading humility. Ascetic with a C, not aesthetic. That's for like bodybuilding. What ascetic means is you're training your humility and you're teaching yourself that you are not your looks, that you don't have to be dependent on your hair or your skin or your physique. Because at the end of the day, those things don't matter. They don't. They affect little things, but in the end, who you are is not your appearance. It's not your appearance. And the thing with this is, take a bodybuilder, for example. They're always focused on themselves. That's why they have anxiety. That's why they have dysmorphia. That's why they're always stressed. If you look in, if you look at the moments where you're most happy, where you're fully present, it's with other people when you're not focused on yourself. When you focus on yourself, that's a form of hell. You don't want to, that's why, you know, eh, who said this? I think it was, I don't remember. But if you take a psychopath, you can punish them with isolation. You know, those really white rooms where you're just isolated and you have nothing to do but think. You have to think about yourself. You have nothing. That's a form of torture. Uh, insane asylums. That's how they work. They force you to focus on yourself. And this whole idea that you are not your looks. Muscles, they're gonna fade, right? You're gonna age. You're not gonna be as big as you were one time. Hair, it'll fall out. Your hair will fall out. These things change. Looks can be extremely volatile. And that's why you don't want to have your identity in your looks. You want to have your identity in something deeper. And what's the deepest thing you can put your identity in? That's God, your faith. That's where you should put your identity in. That's who you are. You are a child of God. You are not your looks. And that's kind of the main message. And that's kind of the symbol of shaving your head, is to teach yourself humility. It's to self-inflict adversity, to teach yourself that it doesn't matter, that your character and your faith matter more.